Dito, 2 gulong, 4 na gulong, 6, 8 gulong. Dapat, di ba, mabuhay sabay-sabay sa ating mga kalsada. Pero hindi yung may gulong ang importante. Ang importante mga pasahero. Kasi kahit may gulong kayo, kung wala kayong pasahero, talo kayo eh.
Tatlo yung nakikita namin, I think, na issue or challenge, no, na ma-lump natin, no? One is really the poor infrastructure.
Nung mga panahon po na nag-ooperate ako way back 1992, ilan pa lang po kami sa EDSA. Siguro po mga 10 operator.
Kung efficient talaga ang mass transportation, yung mga cars na single passenger cars, limit eh.
Bakit ang EDSA, ang road resources natin, doon sa 10 lanes, because 5 lanes each way ang EDSA, 2 lane lamang ang sa mass transport at 8 lanes ang sa private. Is that the showcase of democracy? I ask everybody here.
Kanina nabanggit ni Doc Noriel about ano ba yung dapat i-measure, no? So yung travel time siguro I think yung pinaka-importante.
You know, my wife is pregnant and I also have a toddler. And I can't imagine her going up those stairs, going down those steps, standing in that line. And also nga, pag nag-curbside, I don't know how I'm going to ride my bike also.
Regarding do sa mode of payment, mahirap kasi po sa part ng mga commuters na you need one card for another mode of transport tapos another card for the other one. So kasi sa Indonesia, meron sila yung Jaklinggo, parang incorporated into one card na kahit anong transport, magagamit mo siya. And at the same time, maximizing digital development natin, yung kung hindi mo dala yung card mo, meron ka app sa cellphone.
Ang access ramp doon sa ibang countries upgrade ang access. Ibig sabihin pedestrian crossing. Dati nasa SM North ako, hinanap ko kung paano pumunta sa carousel, napakalayo ng pupuntahan mo. And it's ridiculous.
Overall, I think we need a collective decision. Kasi pwede namang i-assess eh. Ano bang priority natin? Yung bang access ng commuter to the busway or yung travel time ng private cars?
So, yung conclusion namin, mula dun sa whether this is friendly to certain segments of the population, ay napansin namin na talagang almost absolutely ay hindi friendly. Ang sabi ng conductor sa amin, halos zero yung nakakasakay na persons with disability. Dahil sa access pa lang ay isang problema na.
Nagpapasalamat po ako dito po sa mga pag-uusap na ganito. Yun pong kami ay bigyan ng pagkakataon. Ang sa amin po, bahagi po kami ng lipunan na gumagamit ng kalsada, pumapasok sa eskwelahan, mga empleyado, karamihan din po sa amin. So, dun sa nangyari po sa EDSA, at talagang marami po naapektuhan. Ang may kapansanan, senior citizens, kababaihan na nagbubuntis, mga bata na nag-aaral, ang mga bata po, napakadaming dala-dala. Sasakay ka ng bus, tatawid ka pa. Bilang mamamayang Pilipino, may karapatan din po kami na mamuhay ng maalwan. At ang mahalaga po doon, huwag niyo po tignan yung aming kapansanan, ang tignan niyo po yung aming kakayahan. Ito po nakita ko sa Action Dapat Party List po. Nakita ko po yung sinseridad. Ito po ay para sa sektor na may kapansanan, lalong-lalo na po sa mga bata na sinasabi nga, ang bata ang pag-asa ng ating bayan. Sa tulong po ninyo na handang tumulong, hindi po para lang sa aming may kapansanan, kundi sa kabuuan ng lipunan.
Okay, let me just introduce our organization. We are a party list organization. We are not a sectoral organization. We are a political party that represents many sectors. Therefore, we have to deal with different policies, programs, and projects. And you know, I have been in public service in the last 30 years.
I have been mayor, congressman, secretary. At honestly, this is the first time na makikita ko ng buo yung problema ng EDSA. It would be interesting to know that I have attended many committees when I was in Congress. May isang committee ho ron hindi masyado nagagamit. It's called the Oversight Committee ng Congress. Oversight. Ibig sabihin, pag investigation, may problema na kailangan investigahin. Pero policies being implemented by government can be checked by the Oversight Committee. Hindi nagagamit yun eh. So itong problema to, this is an Oversight Committee problem. Ibig sabihin, pag binatuturon, pwede pag-usapan to because it is an ongoing project and problem at the same time. Pangalawa, it involves a lot of sectors. Primarily the commuters. And among the commuters, hati-hati pa ho yun. There are the regular commuters, there are the senior citizens, there are the persons with disabilities, there are the pregnant women, and there are children using that area. So, the common interest of the commuters, dapat pag-aralan mabuti. Di ba? Is it safe? Is it accessible? Especially on matters of costs. Overall, ang trabaho ng transport sector is to bring people and goods from one place to another. Di ba? Then there is the issue of cost. Di ba? Kasi whatever is imposed as a regulated cost, di ba, will be down back to all the consumers. 95% of the transport sector in the Philippines is private sector led. So it's not a government function. Di ba? The function of government is to harmonize the policy para yung business sector at yung mga commuters can see eye to eye at maayos yung buhay o komportable ang buhay. Pangalawa, ano programa? The programa is, you always have to look at traffic. It's a problem. So how do you ease traffic? Problema yan eh. Yung pangatlo, ano yung project? Policy program project. Ang project, carousel. No. Gumagana ho ba? EDSA is one part of the many problems of this country. There are 149 cities sa Pilipinas. At ang city na yan, nakaka-experience ng traffic. There are about 1,600 municipalities in the Philippines. Yung mga first-class municipalities, nakaka-experience ng traffic. Normally, ang katabi ng city, nagiging first-class. Yung residual effect, di ba, ng development, spillover effect. So, ang pagtingin sa problema ng Pilipinas, ng traffic, pagtawid ng tao at goods, must be looked at, di ba, at the national level. Ang unang kulang sa Pilipinas, foresight. Foresight. We don't have foresight in this country. So every time we talk of a new president, the new budget, it's always called medium-term development plan. Have you heard of a long-term development plan sa Pilipinas when it comes to developing our country? Wala. Yun, so kanya-kanyang gawa ng plano every 6 years. But in fairness to government also, especially yung mga foreign assisted, foreign funded, di ba? Matagal ng kanyan nakalinya. So, it's just a matter of how government can provide the counterpart para mag-umpisa yung project. Pero yung mga locally funded projects, dito tayo nagkakatalo. Kaya nangyari sa carousel, di ba? Inasawa kayo, dinibolso kayo, hindi nyo alam. The question is, did the president allow this? How did this happen? Of course, we also know for the fact, hindi po atake ito sa member of Congress, I'll say this anyway. Sinasabi ko lang po, because we never violated that rule. So it's a question of priority. Diba? So when you talk of mass transportation, it is not only for people, it is for goods. Sa totoo lang, ang traffic is a sign of progress. Posibleng wala yung traffic. Kung efficient yung government, that's a sign of inefficiency and lack of planning and foresight. That's EDSA. As part of our governance program, and I don't take this lightly, hindi po kami natulog kagabi at nagtayo ng party list na yun. 8 years in the making po to. We started as peace advocates. We were negotiating with the Communist Party of the Philippines as government. So under 4 presidents. Because I was ready to go back to public service. I stopped for 13 years in public service after my stint as mayor para tingnan ko naman yung pamilya ko. Until si Bobit, si Edgar, and 7 others banded together. Sabi ko, magpakatalino naman tayo. Kaya ito yung party list. Wala naman pong masamang apelido sa mga apelido namin. Wala kaming kaso mga graft, lalo po ako. Laho yan. Graft and corruption. Diba? So in other words, we banded together. You know, if you want to look at the Philippines entirely, transportation, it's in our platform. So when you talk of airports for the aviation sector, you have to talk of seaports. Diba? For the marine sector, for the blue economy na tinatawag ho natin, for goods to move around the country. Lalo na ho, 7,100 islands, it's really a problem, logistically speaking. Now, Metro Manila being the single biggest economy among provinces, with its 20 million people, 7 million voters, di ba? Center of government services, media, business, nandito ulit eh. Eh kung yung development mo hindi balance, Southern Luzon, Northern Luzon, di ba? Eh, bugbugan dito. Bugbugan sa NCR. Kasi ang tanong, ilang kotse ang pumapasok dito na hindi taga Manila but have to acquire services in Metro Manila? Libo yun. So, pag tinignan mo yung day population at saka night population, makikita mo kagad yung difference. Eh. Di ba? We're very glad na meet namin kayo. Nagkaroon ng laman yung aming plataforma at konkretong problema ang aming naiintindihan. You know, the problem with Congress in this country, unlike other countries, it's not that I'm comparing. You know, when they talk of consultation or policy formulation like laws, they call the experts. Pakikinggan yun. Di ba? But, consulted pa kayo. So apparently, there's no consultation because when they conceptualized it, nakalimutan si Caromel, a significant number of people living in Metro Manila. The persons with disabilities in this country are between 2 and 3% of your local population. Komplikado na nga, wala nang access, napagastos pa. Dito, 2 gulong, 4 na gulong, 6, 8 gulong. Dapat, di ba, mabuhay sabay-sabay sa ating mga kalsada. Pero hindi yung may gulong ang importante. Ang importante mga pasahero. Kasi kahit may gulong kayo, kung wala kayong pasahero, halo kayo eh. So I am very thankful for Caromel for taking the cudgel. Of course, si Ate Elvira for motocommuters. Because they comprise the bulk of your livelihood, di ba? And the economy of Metro Manila.